Flight boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're not listening. Ooh, there we go. We're not listening to the mind of Antares moon, of an Antares moon. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now, we're gonna talk about the motherfucker Elohim. Because look, right now, let's make a few disclaimers right now. I'm the Archangel Uriel. Yeah, the Elohim, they are considered gods. But when I say I'm here to carry out God duties and obligations, the God I'm talking about ain't carrying the same frequencies of the Elohim and the God that rules over this realm of reality. So a lot of my frequencies that I'm talking about may go against a lot of these demigods, because that's what they are. They're demigods. By you being a human, you are a form of a demigod. We know demi, that's dense, going down. You know what I'm saying? And we know God after that is having authority or having some superiority. So we have superiority, if that's even a word, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know the energy I'm carrying. Fuck the language. Y'all know the authority that the God frequency carry, and y'all know the authority that the demi frequency carry. So you are gods of the underworlds. You see what I'm saying? And I am the God of the underworld. So can't nobody speak on this more than I can. It's a lot of others who carry the same frequencies on this earth. Don't get me wrong, but right now, the frequencies are just coming to me a little faster because I don't see nobody else on the internet kicking this shit. So let's get it. Now, when we want to talk about now as far as the Elohim, the demigods, the lower gods under the one frequency God, right? The demigods. Now this is the Elohim. Now how you're gonna know who's the Elohim is? You can know each specific Elohim character. All these gods is what engineered this vessel. So if you wanna know what each Elohim represents as their form of a demigod, then you go to each religion. Each religion is a representation of each god. Now, you have a lot of people who are naive and confused here on earth right now to think that all these religions is talking about one God. Then you have a set of people who may argue that, and like, why is you into religion when they really are talking about the same thing? And then you have certain people who fight against their religions, fight against their gods. They're like, no, this God is the right way and this God isn't the right way. When all these gods y'all even talking about, they're working together, but they're separate individuals. Just like I said, if you're a human, you're a form of a demigod. You're not the only human though, right? So exactly, it's the same way as the Elohim. So as many religions that you are aware of, that's as many of the different gods you are aware of. Now, how you know what kind of attributes and traits and what kind of God they was, you go to the religion, you go to what the religion teaches, and those are the frequencies received by that specific God to that specific geographical location or that specific race or group of humans or species or whatever, because we're all engineered by all of them, but based upon race, location, and all that, when this orb was being created, one side is going to carry more energy of one specific Elohim demigod than the other. For an example, you may stay in California and someone else may stay in New York, right? Now, the mayor in New York and the mayor in California, the way they handle their mayoring jobs is completely different. You see what I'm saying? But it's still but they still hold parts of America and how America look at mayors. You see what I'm saying? So they both have a mayor job. The mayor in New York and the mayor in California, they both have mayor jobs, but the way they orchestrate, the way that they do their job is in totally different ways. So the laws in New York are going to be totally different than the laws in California. So when a person moves from New York to California, they're going to look at things different. Like, dang, it ain't like this in New York. Same way how a person in California moved to New York. Now, look at the same way with the Elohim. If you was born in China or Caucasian or African or brown, or you know what I'm saying, and depending on what area, Eastern Hemisphere, Western Hemisphere, whatever like that, things gonna appear different because one Elohim demigod may hold more superior energy over the aspect of the human body than the other one who's born in a different geographical location. And the person who's born in a different geographical location may hold more of that light frequency from that Elohim God who was in that section. You see what I'm saying? So the one thing they all have in common is the same thing you guys all have in common. You human, but the way and the frequencies that you're receiving, that's going to be different. Now, like if you want to break down Pacific gods and stuff like that, and know what Pacific god, like, all right, let's say Christianity, that's more like a reptilian god. You know what I'm saying? So that was a reptilian demigod. You know what I'm saying? When you want to go into Muslims or people who look at Muhammad and look at that, that's more of a that's not reptilian, it's not gray, you know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, I even have to dive more deep into that to understand, because I'm not a religious person, you know what I'm saying? I'm not here following the rules and the laws up under these demigods. So a lot of times I filter them out and try to receive information from the one God, but based upon my geographical location and who I was raised up under and the area I was at, a lot of the frequencies and lights that was going on around here was Christian and Catholic and stuff like that. So those ones was one of the first ones I can see and kind of pierce through, because that was the energy orb that I was brought up in with this physical vessel. And this physical vessel attributes get activated more in those frequencies of Christianity and Catholic and things like of that nature, and even like Muslims and and things of that nature. That's more this geographical location and stuff like that. So these are the first frequencies I'm able to see and able to pierce through. But as far as I get my information straight from the frequency, so I'm just trying to dilute through all of them. But I can tell you for sure that the Christian one is the reptilian one. Now we want to get to Grace, you want to get to the Lemurians, you want to get to all that, the shamans and shit like that, all the shit like that. Then we could decipher that. And as a matter of fact, and I think I'm gonna go do some left brain external science so I can actually be the one to present a video like that. But my whole purpose of doing this video is to let you understand that a lot of times things is not going good for you in your life, because you may be under a frequency roof that's ran by a certain demigod, and the things that you're doing in that roof is disobedient. Now, see, these beings are less dense, so they have more power and authority over you. So actually this realm of reality is ran off their concepts. So the concepts and the things that you realize and you see a lot of times gets filtered through their way of how they control this oh, that's lit. What to say on this way, how they can control this realm of reality. So for an example, say you was raised as a Christian, right? And you got all these, and you start to have money problems. You start to have issues with turning the other cheek. You start to have issues with spirituality. You start to have issues. You're going to start to fall short in your world, because your ideas and the ways of looking at things is through Christian. But when you don't see it working for you, you're going to start looking at it like it's doubtful and it's not real. And now you're starting to be disobedient to your God. So you're not going to receive the fruits and labor, or you're not going to be able to see the path that your God that you ran up under is pushing you. See now, and if you're a person who don't know thyself, and you just basing the world off what you learned and how you was raised and things of that nature, then you're still affiliated with that frequency. But by you trying to be disobedient in that frequency, for an example, that's like somebody saying something happened to them, and they like say they grew up under Christianity, right? And something happened to them, right? And they be like, damn, why God do this to me? And then they come develop all these metaphors in their head of why they're in this situation and why they have to experience, and then what kind of hard work they have to do to get up out of this and to be appreciated, and how much they have to pray. Look, all this is you being disobedient. You see what I'm saying? Because you already under that theology, but now you thinking you don't believe in it by still believing in it. Like that's like not believing in something by still believing in it. Like the reptilian Christian guy, you be like, something bad happened to you. You be like, dang God, why this happened to me? I don't believe this shit, because that shit phony. It can't be that way. It's like you playing a game with me or something like that. See, it's like you're not believing while believing. So you're still under that roof. You're just being disobedient. Now here's what I say. Like, now whatever religion you in, that's the Elohim specific God that you're going to be going through. So if you enter a religion, right, and you don't know yourself well enough to logically and right brain enough to get yourself out of that vibration and actually detox from all of that and put yourself in a whole nother realm of reality. If you're not strong enough to do that yet, then I encourage you to dive deeper in your religion, because listen, this is not the end all and be all. You're going to be here millions and millions of times, and depending on what type of frequencies you in, especially if you in some type of religious frequency. So if you are Christian, right, and you can't think nothing else, and you don't have the ability or whatever like that, then what you need to do is you need to do things according to that God. You know what I'm saying? And for an example, by being a Christian, y'all believe in Jesus and stuff like that, right? So I'm telling you, the only way you're going to be successful in life if you do things Jesus-like. You're going to have to go put yourself on a cross, aka you're going to have to be ridiculed in some type of way. You're going to have to you're going to have to make sure you create enough you make sure you have a worship energy behind you that you're giving praise to. Make sure you're praising this person, and make sure you give this person a large amount of your energy to be able to receive that, but do it accordingly. And how you do it accordingly is reading your Bible, going and taking each step seriously. You know what I'm saying? Even if it seems weird to someone who's not in no religious type thing. You see what I'm saying? It's up to you to take your religion serious so you can go accordingly. This is why preachers is the only people making any kind of real money in Christianity, and everybody who don't have a sense of themselves looking at this person as an example that is some sense. So this is why a preacher can pack out a crowd, but the preacher is the only one that's prospering, because the preacher is the only one going the direct path that Elohim God is doing. So it don't matter what religion it is, the preachers in that religion are the only ones going towards protocol of that Elohim God, and this is why they're receiving prosperity in their world. But this is why you as a person in the audience isn't, because you're still trying to figure out the complete of your religion, when really you're already behind. If you're in the crowd, you already need to take yourself out of that frequency. You see what I'm saying? So it like every religion has different paths and do things differently. You see what I'm saying? Based upon their is only because the Elohim demigod that rules that specific religion, that's the way that God sees things. You see what I'm saying? But they all work together. So I just wanted to make a quick video on that so people can understand what is the Elohim. If you want to know what's the Elohim is the God of each Elohim is a group of Elohim, mean gods, right? And if you want to know how many gods created this realm of reality for you to experience, right? If you want to know how many gods, figure out how many religions. And if you want to know, and then if you dive into all these religions and you want to know what Pacific Elohim they are, then what you do is you read and learn about that religion and learn the ways of that religion, and then that's going to tell you the ways of that demigod, and you're going to be able to specifically point out. Like I said, right now I'm in America, so the first ones I was able to decipher was the Christian God, and the Christian God I can utmost tell you that's the reptilian Elohim. You know what I'm saying? The reptilian God, demigod of the group. You know what I'm saying? And you got a lot of different ones. You know what I'm saying? So don't forget. I don't know which one's the grays yet. I don't know. I haven't got into all that yet. You know what I'm saying? But I know who they are. I'm just not into every religion like that, because the first religions that even perceived to me, I was able to pierce through. So I stopped giving a fuck about all religions and start just giving a fuck about the spirits. So I could tell you the spirits. I just don't know which actually one represents each religion except the Christian one. And I can tell you off the bat, that's a reptilian one, because off the bat, before you even get into the whole Bible, is dealing with left brain, knowledge, in the yin realm. So when they say in the Bible at the beginning, don't go over there or whatever like that, or don't eat those fruits, whatever like that, what it's saying is don't logically try to understand the dark. Basically, in this is what you can't see. So in this realm of reality, is this darkness is just a representation, a physical manifestation of what you can't see. But what you really just can't see is the inner. So, and what you can see is what you have. So the reptilian God wanted you which is the Christian God, right? It wanted you to be appreciative of what it did give you and what you can see, but don't go into an area of feeling like what would happen if you didn't have these things. The reptilian God wants you to be not naive, wants you to be logical, wants you to be external, didn't want you to go inside to see how to create for yourself. And then once the female did that first and made the male do that and start to understand the darkness of, okay, what would things be like if we didn't have what we see, and things of that nature. To this sense, that's like being the reptilian Christian God. To that sense, it's like being disobedient. Oh, so you want to know something? Oh, so you want to know how I feel to try to create yourself? Or you want to know how I feel to be in the dark? Or you want to know how to feel for these negative emotions that we already have? All right, well, we're going to make you experience this. And then now you get punished. And then you being a Christian, you think everything is a punishment. You think you even come to a point that you think laws itself tie your... Hold on 1 second. Yo. Right, everybody talking about Golden State. But yeah, you know, sorry about that, let me get this in though. But yeah, you know, at the same time, it just wants you to, once you start to be disobedient, it takes what you can see away from you, right? And now it wants you to go see if you can create yourself, but in a lesser frequency. So you know what I'm saying? You see how things can mess up though. But yeah, you know, I'm gonna cut this video short real quick, but I'm about to come back with the planetary alignments for each sign for this week. I ain't just gonna lump it all in one. I'm gonna do each and every one, you know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be based upon your sun sign, and I'm gonna tell you how your sun sign is relating to each planet going on right now. Flight boss, bitch, you know, for sure. Goddamn air.